What is up, guys, and welcome back to our Make the EU Great Again Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode series, and we are in the second round of the NHL playoffs. If you'd have asked me how we would have done in after the draft, I guess I would have said bottom five. We would be competing for the first overall pick in the NHL draft. However, we are in the second round of the playoffs, and we are playing the Anaheim Ducks. So let's just get right into it and look at the Ducks lines. As Squeaky Chair is back. I don't know why it squeaks so goddamn much. Holy shit. Oh my god, look at the Ducks. So, so we don't have to look at those jerseys, man. Those are ugly. Okay, look at our home jerseys instead. So, offense, the same rating as the Ducks. Defense, they have a 9-point advantage. And goaltending, they have a 5-point advantage. So, is that what player is that? I don't know. It says 11. It might be Kopitar, but does not look like Kopitar. Looking at the Anaheim Ducks lines, view opponents. Here we go. Okay, who is it? It is Dowdy. Is it Keith? Looks more like Dowdy than Keith. I don't fucking know, man. That's gotta be Drew Dowdy. It's gotta be. I thought, why would Dowdy be 11 though? Oh well, not my place to care about that. So let's just look at their lines really quick. So their forward lines are pretty weak, but apparently they're as good as ours. So their top line of Vander Kane, Valtteri Filppula, and Willie Nylander, a couple of guys that we could use on our team. And then Colin Wilson, Yuri Laterra, and Jerome Aginla. Teddy Purcell, Sam Gagne, Yannick Hansen, and then Henrik Samuelsson, William Karlsson, and Josh Anderson. So they got the Sun line down there on the fourth line. Yeah, their lines aren't too scary. A pretty damn good second line, though. Decent third and not terrible fourth. But the first line is kind of weak, and that's where we will have our advantage based on the forward lines. Defensive pairing, though, obviously Duncan Keith and Drew Doughty are absolutely going to tear us a new asshole. They also have Brendan Dillon and Chris Tanev, who's an 88 overall, Mark Streit, and Michael Matheson. So defensive core is pretty damn good. Especially compared to ours. Ours is not good at all, but that's okay. Other than Hedman, obviously. So, goaltending, they got Pecorine, another guy we could use on our team. So the Ducks are like the London Golden Knights light in that they have quite a few EU players that we could use, but they are going to be playing against us in this series. So they swept their first round matchup. Pecorine was incredible. 125 GAA and a 96% save percentage nearly. So in 4 games, let's see how their lines did. 2 points, 0, and 1. So their first line's not too great. Second line, 3, 4, and 2. 2, 3, and 2. And 2, 3, and 1. So our first line was actually their worst line throughout the first round. But pretty good depth scoring, and our depth is pretty weak. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. In their defensive core, 4 and 5, 3 and 0, and 4 and 0. So holy shit. Drew Doughty, 5 assists plus 7 in the first 4 games of the playoffs. So we're going to have our work cut out for us. That is for sure. Bachanik, has he been bad? No, he's been plus 0, or 0 plus minus. So good for him, you know. Good for him. Hedman, how many games did we play? I forget. Was it 6? Was it 7? I don't even remember. It was 7 games. So Robin Lehner is actually playing almost as well as Pecorine has in the first round of the playoffs. So our first line, or at least Nino Niederreiter, did not show up in the first series. Only 1 assist for him, but 6 and 6 for Line A and Draisaitl. 3, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, and 0, 0, 0. So if we can get a little bit of scoring from the fourth line. Our third line's been playing pretty well, and our second line's been okay. First line's been pretty good, except for Niederreiter. So, if we can get Niederreiter going and our fourth line going, we might have a chance this series. And we're going to have to shut down their top defensive pairing, that is for sure. And goaltending is going to be huge. It could easily be whichever goaltender plays better in this series will win the series. So, we could possibly steal the series if Robin Lehner plays out of his mind. So let's just get right into it. First game at Anaheim of this second round playoff matchup. I don't have I don't have much in terms of expectations in that we're already super overachieving based on what I thought. So whatever happens, boys, it's fine. First period, Hampus Lindholm get the first goal of the series from the left point on Pecorino. So good start to the series. Good start. Second period. Oh my God, Draisaitl, Laine, and Aleshimsky score all from the right side of the ice. So holy shit, boys, 4 goals on 16 shots. So Rene, maybe he's getting what's happening to him in real life in the Stanley Cup Final. Play a pretty dominant first round, and then not so great after that. Not so great in the Stanley Cup Final has Rene been. So all right, whatever. Third period. Let's see what happens. We get a power play early. Can we score? We cannot. That's okay. That's okay. We still got a 4-goal lead. Another power play. Oh, Yannick Hansen gets one right as the power play expires on Leonard. There goes the shutout. They got a power play. We killed it off. All right, so fantastic first game performance there for us in the second round of the playoffs against the Anaheim Ducks. And I meant to look at how the Ducks finished in the regular season, so I'm going to check that out really quick before we move on to Game 2. So we've already stolen home ice advantage from the Anaheim Ducks, so whatever happens in this Game 2, it's fine. Not too worried about it. Not too worried about it. The Ducks finished with 111 points. That's pretty good. Entire league, they won the President's Trophy, best team in the league, by a solid 6-point margin. So a really tough team that we're going up against right now. But obviously we're not too phased because we stole Game 1 on the road. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into Game 2. Actually, how are the Roadrunners doing? They made the second round. That's right. I remember. I watched that video, or I watched that game live in the last video. So Game 2 in Anaheim. Let's see if we can pull out another surprising victory here. First period. Good start. Good start. We got one from Draisaitl. They evened it up before the first period ended. One from Sam Gagner. So even. Head into the second period. Same thing here. Gabrick gets one first, but they respond with Willie Nylander. They are out shooting us by 4, but both goalies are playing decently well so far. We got a power play, and we did not capitalize. Oh well, that's fine. Be nice if we could steal this game, though. Be really nice if we could steal this game. And as I say that, Evander Kane scores for the Ducks. So fuck me. We played. Oh, Korpikoski gets one. Korpikoski, short-handed it looks like. So 2 minutes left, 1 minute, and overtime. All right. Korpikoski got one short-handed, I believe. 5:55 was the time of the goal. The penalty was at 6:31. So yeah, a short-handed goal there for Lauri Korpikoski. Gets us back in it and sends the game to overtime. Good shit, boys. So overtime. Even if we lose this game, I'm still happy with 2 games in Anaheim. We won, and then we sent the second game to overtime, as I really struggle to say that word. Or say that phrase. Jesus. Alright, 10 minutes, nothing's happened yet. They're severely out shooting us here in the overtime period. But if we can make it to the break, we can reset. And we do. Okay, so we can reset. We get severely outshot that period, as you can see here. We put up like 4 shots, maybe. I don't fucking know. Just bad. Whatever it was. It was bad. So Robin Lehner comes up big for us in the overtime number 1. Let's see if our offense can come up big for us in overtime number 2. Let's see, and we start out pretty strong, and Brendan Dillon scores for the Ducks. Of course, as I say, we started out pretty strong. They get the game winner. All right, that's fine though. The 2 games in Anaheim, we got a win in regulation, a dominating win, and then we took it to overtime in Game 2, and now we have home ice advantage. So we got 2 games at home. If we can come out with both of these wins, we will be in a fantastic spot in the series. So, Game 3 in the Europa building, back in London. Can we do it? Nino Niederreiter. There he is, boys. Nino Niederreiter gets his first goal of the playoffs and potentially his second point of the playoffs. It only took him 10 games. That's fine. As long as he's showing up now, we'll be fine. So, second period, nothing doing there. We're being outshot by 5, but we still have that 1 goal advantage. So, and we do not have that 1 goal advantage anymore. William Karlsson scores for the Ducks. So Robin Lehner has been playing pretty well this game, but so has Ben Bishop. As we kill off a penalty there, we get one. Okay, no, we cannot get one on the power play. Another power play, close out the game. Yes, Victor Hedman scores. Laine gets the empty netter right afterwards. So Power play, no, yeah, power play goal there. Evander Kane had a high-sticking double minor, and Hedman scores 1 second after the after that first fucking hell after that first penalty expired. William Hedman's right after that first power play expired, Victor Hedman scores the game-winning goal, and we have won Game 3 there, boys. We won Game 3, so we're headed now to Game 4. We're up in the series. We're up in the series 2-1. Good shit so far from the boys in this playoff series, and pretty much anything from here on out in terms of how we perform it's just icing on top of the cake, man. I wouldn't expect us to be here, but we are, and we're winning games. So we're gonna go ahead and do the scouting assignment, and my dumbass for this series scouted out the fucking CHL like an idiot, just like it was just habit, just complete habit, and we're not gonna have any. So we're gonna have shit scouting this season. It's whatever because whatever, man, whatever. We're in the playoffs. We're in the second round. We might be facing down a conference final. I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. So let's just move on to the first period. Puljujärvi. So there comes the fourth line. We got Nino Niederreiter to pitch in the last game, and we get the fourth line to pitch in this game. Good shit. Second period. Laterra gets one back for the Ducks. Out shooting us by 9. So if we can, so I was gonna say Robin Lehner's playing really well for us this game. 25 shots and only 1 goal for the Ducks as they get a power play, and we kill it off. All right, so hopefully we can get a little momentum from that penalty kill, and we get a 5-on-3 and do not capitalize. Speaking of momentum, the Ducks, nope, they got another penalty. So us on the power play, once again cannot capitalize. Holy shit! So this game heading into overtime. Game 2 in the Europe game 4, the second game in the Europa building for this playoff series is headed into overtime. So if we win this game, we're in a really good spot. If we lose this game, we have to win in Anaheim once more. Overtime period. And fucking Laterra scores. Laterra scores from the left face-off circle a minute into overtime. So there goes that shit, boys. Now we got to win one game in Anaheim. Fuck. All right, so we've given home ice back to the Ducks. Damn it. That is unfortunate, but that's okay. We're still in the series. We're still in it. We still have a chance. Still have a shot. First period. And there goes our shot. So Gimlet gets 2. Streit gets 1. And Anderson gets 1. And Faxa scores for us. So Lehner gave up 4 goals on 13 shots there in the first period. That is utter trash. We're going to need a strong start to the second period if we want a chance to win this game. And we do get it, but we give up 2 goals right back. So Gabrick and Rodin bring the game within 1 goal. And then Evander Kane and Teddy Purcell score for the Ducks to put it back to a 3-goal game. So shit performance here in Game 5 as we give them another power play. They didn't score, though. So we're going to be headed back to London. Elimination game. Clearly it's going to be a must-win for us. And so yeah, disappointing performance there in Game 5. Samuelson scores another one on Lehner just to rub fucking salt in the wound. So Lehner, shit performance there. 31 shots, 7 goals allowed. Jesus, Robin, what was that? We're going to need you to be better, buddy. We're going to need you here in Game 6 to really shut the door on the Ducks and let us have a chance to win in regulation. All right, back to London. Game 6. Can we pull it out? Because we need to if we want to stay alive this season. All right, first period. No goals there. We only got 3 shots on net. They got 12. So, Jesus Christ. Second period. Vander Kane scores 1, 16 seconds into the second period. It's not looking good here. Don't even have 10 shots on goal yet. And now we do, as Patrick Laine scores. Holy shit. And Filppula answers right back. So he's like, fuck you, fellow Finn. I'm scoring a goal. And he did. So only 11 shots on net so far. My goodness gracious, man. We really laid down here in this Game 6. We really laid down and gave up. And that's fine. That's fine. Only 14 shots on net there in the Game 6 elimination game. So really poor performance from the boys there in that Game 6, but In terms of the season and the playoffs, really good performance. I did not expect us to be in the playoffs. Clearly, I said that like 3 times now in this video alone. I expected us to be a bottom 5 team in the league and be a lottery team and trying to get that first overall pick. Instead, we made the second round of the playoffs and gave the Ducks a run for their money. We went up in the series and put a lot of pressure on them, and they responded. So can't really be too upset with that performance on the season. Been nice to win the cup, but it's just not how it turned out. But we'll be back next season as the Montreal Canadiens win the Stanley Cup. So let's see what they had on their team and why they won. We'll go to playoff stats really quickly. First, and Draisaitl and Laine were both point-a-game guys in the playoffs. It looks like what we're going to need is a top line left winger, because Niederreiter just did not get it done. He did have 5 points in 6 games there in that second round matchup, but not enough. Really brought down that first line. And then our third line did not show up. Kempe and Fiala did not have a single point there in the playoffs. Puljujarvi scored 1 goal. And obviously, Radim Bachanek, we could improve on him, but that's fine. So, goaltending, how did Lehner do there in the second round? 2.12 GAA, still pretty good, and 9.32 save. So, still really good stats for him, despite that that beating he took in Game 5. So, the awards for this season, are they updated yet? They're not updated yet. Not quite yet. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to Sim to the Draft, I guess. I'm not sure if we had another first round pick. I don't think so. I can't remember if we do or not, but if we do, I'll be surprised if we win the lottery. I'll be happy with it. I would not say no, that is for sure. Okay, we did not. Washington wins the lottery with Chicago and Vancouver picking top 3. And retired players, did Bachanek retire? He did. So, shocking for him to see 20 games in the regular season and 13 games in the playoffs. But, yeah, so that's it for Bachanek. He has retired. Let's go look at all. So, Chara retired. He's the guy that we could have used. Roosevelt. Some names here. Not the big names that you normally see this first year, but it's like the Sedins are still active. We could pick them up if we want to make a playoff run next season. Zetterberg's still there. Cronwall, I don't know where Cronwall's from, but he's a possibility. So that's that. I'll pick up next video with doing the draft. What was I going to do? We're going to see if we have another first round pick. So obviously the goal of the draft would be to trade up in the first round and try to draft Timothy Liljegren. But if he's like a top 3 pick, then it's going to be kind of hard to do that, as we only have our first round pick. So it's going to be tough to do that, but we're going to give it a shot because Timothy Liljegren would be a huge pickup for this team. Looking at our trade value guys, we wouldn't want to trade any of these top 3 guys. Probably not Lindholm. Niederreiter is a guy I could get rid of just based on how poorly he performed there in the playoffs, I guess, on the first line. And we hope to see some growth from quite a few of our guys like Nylander and Yo Levy, Fiala, Polka, guys like that. Hopefully they can step up and play big minutes for us next season. And then goaltending-wise, do you have anybody other than Lehner? Gustafsson there has a little bit of trade value. A guy in this draft that we could look to pick up is Ukko Pekka Luukkonen, maybe? I think that's his name. Or even Veini Veivalainen. Both of those guys are Finnish goaltenders that go in the 2017 NHL draft in this game. And they're both usually pretty good players, pretty good potentials. Yeah, let's look at the Montreal Canadiens and see what it takes to win a Stanley Cup in this league. So just going to breeze through the entire league to show you guys how everyone did. So Washington won the lottery from the 6th position. Pretty good stuff from them. Pretty lucky. They went from a guy like T-Lander maybe, and they upgraded all the way to Nolan Patrick. Pretty good for them. Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to look at the Canadians. Alright, let's see who they ended up drafting in the fantasy draft and who they have on their team. If I remember the alphabet correctly. So they got Steven Stamkos, 86 points, or 88 points, Jesus. Pacioretty and Mitch Marner. So their first line's really good, but then after that, it really dropped off there for them. Burakovsky, Eric Stahl, Victor Rask, Kramarosa, Gergensons, Quentin Howden, Armia, Craig Smith, Matt Pimples. Their defensive core of Savard, Markov, Dumoulin, Scandella, Shea, and Gabriel Carlson. I'm not sure why this team is a Stanley Cup winning team. Oh, that's why. Henrik Lundqvist in the net. Had a pretty good season there. So that's what it takes to win the Cup, boys. A 93 overall goaltender, apparently. Except when I have 93 overall goaltenders in franchise mode, they shit the bed year in and year out. But whatever. So that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe as always, so you can check out and be notified when we have videos come up on the channel. So yeah, do that. Check out some of our other series. It's always good to see some support for the channel. We love to interact with you guys, so if you comment down below, we will comment back. And so yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time.